Good evening, everyone, worldwide, wherever you are, picking up signal this evening. We want to say thank you for joining us again. This time around is our 186th broadcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and on our Issues Room page. Welcome this evening. We are here to discuss some very, very important topics, and so we encourage you and ask you to share our link, invite others to join us here tonight as we begin these series of conversations here on our broadcast. We say thank you for your viewership. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time. Just as we've come here every evening, when I use the word every, meaning the Tuesdays and Fridays we come out here, we can't come and talk to ourselves, and we need an audience. And once you are here, uh, we take pride in your presence, and we know that we're appreciated, and that is why a lot of you will find the time to join us. So again, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for your viewership. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing our link. Thank you for loving us, for liking us, and for following us. My name is Volcano Shelton here with you this evening. We say thank you again for joining us on this 19th day of September, and it's Tuesday here, 2023. And let me bring in Moses Sandy, who is out there in Delaware. Good evening, Moses. Welcome to our 186th broadcast here tonight in the Issues Room.
Thank you, Volcano. It's a pleasure to be back.
So
Thank
we
you.
got a lot of things to unpack here tonight. Quickly, let me just run down from the promo. We're going to be looking at the issue of ULA, the Union of Liberian Association here in the Americas, which is the consortium or umbrella organization for all Liberian organizations here in the U.S. They just had a convention this past weekend here in the city of Philadelphia, where the Issues Room resides, and it was a fiasco. It was unfortunate. And you would think that ULA, as the umbrella organization, will be the trendsetter, will set the tune, but they themselves failed. On the other hand, parallel to their convention, the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas had a successful convention, ushering in a new leadership, now headed by Pee Besa, who is now the new president of AJA, with a mandate to run the organization for 2 years. And let's see what happens after that, if he has an opportunity to go for a second term. But Moses, this is where we are, and we'll be discussing Eula. We're also going to look at the issue of this young woman who had a relationship with an American missionary by the name of Lucas Richards in Liberia. Her name is Jessica Lloyd, and apparently, according to what's trending on social media, is that she was impregnated by the missionary, who is a wedded missionary, meaning he has his family here in the U.S. and he went over there, started doing hinky pinky instead of serving God. Uh, well, got the lady pregnant, injected her with some chemical to abort the baby. Not sure whether that would have happened. Took her on a joyride and decided to end her life by, slitting her throat, and she was saved. And that's why our country is such, and sometimes we need to be happy about it, that our community is so populated that people will see things, and they're not the ones who will stand by and just look. They will jump in, and that's why saved that lady's life. We'll be looking at that, but then we'll be looking at the main conversation tonight, the Boakai UP Weah CDC political crowd. Same venue, different circumstances. One on a beautiful sunny day, one on a rainy and gloomy day. But the contrast here is, who pulled the biggest crowd? Does it matter? Is crowd pulling now one of the determinant factors that paint the picture that someone going to win the presidency. So a lot of things we'll talk about here tonight. And by the way, uh, this Tuesday is our last broadcast to next Tuesday because the issues room is intending to be in Liberia at some point until next Tuesday. So we will not have a broadcast on Friday from all indication because we didn't make the preparation. All right. So
Yeah.
you give a background of the ULA stuff before we even go into playing a clip from his current president, who should have been out of office by now, Joshua Kamara.
Thank you, Volcano. But as a member of Agile, let me just take a few seconds to say something about the convention. You already spoke about it. We have a new leadership headed by Mr. Pewee Bisa, who formerly worked for LBS, the Liberia Broadcasting System. The vice president is Mrs. Kadiatu uh, Buhuri.
Buhiri.
And Buhuri, she lives in the Maryland area. Kadiatu is going to help Mr. Bisa. The Secretary General is Mr. Joey Kennedy. He formerly worked for the Liberia Communications Network, what, LCN, yeah, Liberia Communications Network. That was the media entity that was owned by the now imprisoned Mr. Taylor. The Assistant Secretary General is Mr. Stanley McGay. Stanley is a former executive of our local chapter. So we have a new team of leaders. Our chapter leaders were also inducted. The Midwest chapter has a new leadership headed by Mr. Sosa Mana, and our chapter here on the East Coast is now headed by Mr. Sami Abu. Mr. Abu was in fact re-elected. I think almost 2 weeks ago, right, Volcano? So all of these individuals were inducted. We had prominent speakers, and we also had representation from Liberia. Mr. Malcolm Joseph from the Center for Media Status attended the convention. We had representatives from Fiji. We had two female representatives from Fiji, the Female Journalists Association. In fact, three representatives from Fiji came, and we had another Liberian journalist that came from one of the local dailies, Jessica Gum. So it was indeed a very impressive turnout. Presidential hopeful Sarah Bedlow, I think Yanti. I think she's running as independent candidate. She's one of the candidates, one of the 20 candidates. She was able to talk to the gathering, via a cell phone. We tried to connect her by means of internet, but it was a little bit difficult. She spoke lengthily about what she intends to do. She says if she wins the presidency, and that's something that really stood out, Volcano. Maybe you can say something on that. The issue about gender equity and the presidential hopeful said if she wins the presidency, her dream is to ensure that in her cabinet there will be 50-50 representation, 50% representation of females, 50% representation of male. Let me ask you, was she being academic, Volcano?
And again, people take gender equity to be something that is compulsory.
Yeah,
What if you have one side of the coin not prepared? So what are you going to do? Force people there, like the current dispensation? Are you going to just put people because you want to say 50 women, so 50 men? Or are you going to put your best and qualified Liberians? So let's stop this whole gender equity thing. We're not saying that you can have 50-50, but you got to find 50-50 of the good 100.
I
That's
agree.
my position.
I agree.
So if you have 40 men, 60 women, and the women all, shine the men to have your best, then so be it. But
That's
you
it.
can't just try to balance the equation all because you want to have equitability in gender, But then what's competences? Where's substance?
Where does merit comes in, right?
Where the merits come in? Where's the experience and all of that? People
Yeah.
just need to stop this kind of behavior.
I'm telling you, when she
But it
said
only
that
plunges
volcano,
us into further divide. It sounds
of
like,
course it does. Yeah.
and we know that men will remain dominant in societies globally. All right,
Globally, yeah.
word is designed by patriarchy,
We have a patriarchal, society,
and
so
if it were not so, Adam wouldn't be the first man. So Adam came as the man to stand the ground and lead, the charge. But equally, his woman by his side is the same that for every situation. But to continue to probe this gender equity, I don't have problem with a woman being my boss. I don't have problem with me working with 10 women. I'm the only man. If they all qualify, I am grateful and I'm happy. I think
see,
that's the way I look at it.
I agree with you 100%. I just want to get my job done, do it to the best of my ability. But for someone to say that the yardstick for appointment in government will be on the basis of, gender equality, that's a that's a real problem because, like you said, Volcano, you and I, we know, yeah, when we go through the process, is rigorous. People, they ask you some tough questions. Why you think you should be given this position? What do you bring to this? So does that mean that we just go down water side and just start grabbing women and putting them in government because we want gender equity? I think she was being more political, more academic than reality because it's not doable. And don't get me wrong, I have all daughters. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm not trying to put women down, but I think uh, presidential hopeful Yanti, well, actually speaking to a different word than what the real situation is. Now, let's come back to the main issue here. The question about ULA, the umbrella organization of Liberian associations in the Americas. ULA brings together Liberians in the Americas. The ULA that you and I knew in the 70s, ULA being in existence for many years, this weekend was the 49th convention, annual convention of ULA. So it means that this organization been a year for maybe almost a century now.
No,
I mean, not a century, almost 50 years, half of a century, So what happened was that I'm sure you're going to play the video. News report indicates that the convention that was held in Philadelphia, at that convention, the chapter members or ULA members were to elect a new corps of officers. Mr. Shehu Kamara is the current president. His tenure ended last Saturday. So they were to hold election for the president, vice president, secretary general, and others. And unfortunately, when delegates assembled in the city of Philadelphia, a news report have it that the process was halted because delegates, the board of directors, the national executive led by Mr. Shehu Kamara just could not easily reconcile, issues regarding who gets represented, who gets the opportunity to vote, and who will not be allowed to vote. As a result, the whole thing became chaotic. And Mr. Kamara exercised his executive power because he realized that they were running against time. It's also my understanding that of Volcano, and the guys they paid 10,000 US dollars to a very credible group to conduct their election. But because they were pressed to time, the election was not held, the election was canceled, and the Rigs losing their money. So he exercised his executive power. The election was canceled. After the cancellation, the board of director that was in conflict with Mr. Kamara also removed Mr. Kamara Sunday. So right now, the board claims to be in control of ULA, But Mr. Kamara says, as far as concerned, he's still president. And maybe you want to play the video later, we can analyze it because Volcano, this is really shameful. It's embarrassing that our own brother organization that we look forward to will be in such a political turmoil.
You
Go
would
ahead.
think that just before I play the video, you would think that again, as I said, that ULA will be the trend setter here for organizations to emulate, and they can also be the trendsetter for our national elections in Liberia, right?
Yeah.
Because you are the pressure group, the first and foremost pressure group, considering the role of ULA. ULA was around during the Tauber administration. In fact, Charles Taylor was, I believe, his first president
Mhm.
who debated Tauber that brought him to prominence, meaning he, Taylor, so and when Tauber was opening the corridors for multi-party democracy, he was embracing to the idea. He created an opportunity for Liberians to be heard, and it was through ULA. So in these modern days now, 49 years later, to have something like this, it tells us how since our country gotten from good to bad now to worse, most of our organizations established, but they cannot sustain because of the continued infighting, the disintegration, the happening with political parties right in Liberia, and it's happening here in the US. We have a serious, serious problem, Moses. A serious problem.
Definitely.
So let's go to the clip here and hear what he has to say here.
Mhm.
There have been turbulent times.
And by the way, we call this from our sister network, Focus on Liberia. Just so you know, this is the issues room, but we're using this clip from Focus on Liberia.
So I remember in 2008 in Pittsburgh, there was election disagreements, and the police was called. And of course, one of the parties, Maria Seaton, walked, away. But that crisis did not rise to this level where elections were canceled. In 2015, there was also, I think, a precedent, from Massachusetts, about disagreement between, the leadership and, a contestant. And the General Assembly in 2015 did, of course, meet, to adjudicate that matter because the General Assembly is a high decision-making body. But in terms of election canceling, I don't recall in recent history, but I will tell you, the circumstances that led to this happening.
So let's get into the circumstances, and thanks so much for providing that clarity that this has not happened to the point elections get canceled except for this 49th General Assembly. So what happened? What started all this?
Mr. C, what happened was that we received complaints from two member chapters of ULA, Atlanta and Fulao. Their members complained that they were left out of the delegate list, especially in the case of Atlanta, and they did list, chronologically the criteria that qualify one to be a delegate. In a situation in Atlanta, you might have attended two consecutive meetings and you might have paid your dues. So they listed number of people, I think 6, 7, 8, up to 10, that they felt were qualified, but the leadership did not include on a delegate list. They also identify additional names, names of other individuals that they were questioning that these people were not supposed to be on the list, and they were asking the executive director to provide clarification. So We, when they send this protest to us, we, told them to follow all the regulatory internal processes, to resolve this. And we wrote a letter to the executive director, asking him to come so that we can have an audience. He didn't reply us. The same thing with Fulao. In Fulao case, that is the Federation of Librarians in Ohio. In Fulao case, one of the member chapters in Columbus complained and cited constitutional provision, equal representation, due payment, and all of that. And the bone of the complaint was that the Secretary General, of course, they were entitled to 50 delegates. The Secretary General asked the Executive Director of LRCI, which is the Columbus-based organization, to give 10 names, to form the delegate list. But the Secretary General at the same time went into that very chapter in Columbus and identified 17 other individuals for that member chapter. So we wrote again to the Executive Director to come to have an audience or to resolve. And for him, he even wrote an insulting letter to the leadership.
So Mr. President, not cutting you off here. So the issue, from what you are saying, started with people questioning the delegate list.
And feeling disenfranchised.
And feeling disenfranchised that either they were left out or some people not supposed to be there. How many chapters are we talking about here? Whose delegates people are questioning?
There are two. That's Liberian Association of Metropolitan Atlanta, and the Fulao organization, which is the Federation of Liberian Associations in Ohio. Okay. There's a third other issue I would also like to talk about. I don't know if you want me to proceed with that.
Oh yeah, proceed. We want to get all the information.
The third problem, the third other issue is Iowa. Iowa, the former president and the vice president were having, elections, and for some reason, there were some regulatory issues that made the board to come in, and the board took over the governing authority of that organization.
And what led to that decision that they have to take over?
Well, they took over because, one, there were some allegations of domestic violence, and they put their constitution on the grounds that when these things happen, the board had to come in, to make sure that they take over the management of the association.
And they said that the charges were against the executive leadership of the chapter in that
The charges were against the executive leadership, and that he and the vice president were going at it. So,
and did you check to see they were, quoting the constitutional right, that the reasons given for them taking over were constitutional? Did you check, Mr. President?
Oh yeah, we did check.
What's your finding? What's your finding?
Our finding was that that dispute was the action of the executive of the board of directors was appropriate. Okay. And so they did write us a letter. They write us a letter and said, Mr. President, because of the impasse, we are taking over. But furtherance of that, they wrote a letter explaining that, look, the former administration did not provide, a sufficient cushion for us to be able to participate in the forthcoming General Assembly. Okay. Also, our membership is not prepared. There should be, community meetings for us to be able to make these decisions and things like that. And then they also follow up again for the second time, reaffirming, their letter to the national leadership, to my administration. But what happened was that some members of the board encouraged that very, other people in the chapter to send a list.
Are you talking about a local board at this time, or you talking
the national
about
board?
The national,
national board.
Okay, the national board.
The national board.
Okay.
So the national board of directors, in presence of the first vice chair, Mr. Dao Kamara, somewhere around September 4th, sent me a letter, not even a letter, a text message. I think they kind of realized and caught and said that the game that they were trying to play, they had to withdraw that letter. So,
what game are you talking about, Mr. President?
The game that they asked. Mind you, now I got two letters in my possession. The first letter is that, we're not coming, Mr. President. We got some problems in our hands. Our charter is not in order and everything else. So as a result, we're not coming. They also wrote a second letter. But then the board now encouraged some individuals within the chapter to send a delegate list. And so when they send out delegate list, then the vice board chair, Mr. Dao sent a communication, but that communication was via text. That means the president, according to him, it came from the board chair. But it was a text saying, Mr. President,
yourself.
Initial letter to you. But Mr. C, that kind of communication is not official, is not authenticated. I cannot, act on that as a national president, to be able to.
So, Mr. President, with that chapter, what Liberians want to know now, did they finally send any delegate list to participate in the General Assembly?
That leadership did not send a delegate list. But what happened was that, again, what happened was that the board of directors, the board of directors, the Secretary General, Mr. James Barclay, and other people encourage chapter members to send, a list, a delegate list. When we already, my administration had two letters indicating that they were not going to be participating in the convention.
So let's because this part of the story here, yeah, 2008, 2015, 2023, 2008 and 15 were not to the point where elections were canceled, but this one took place. With everything he's talking about here with regards to the Ohio chapter, the Des Moines, Iowa chapter,
The guys from Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with the preparation of national?
Okay. So
maybe
the message he was trying to convey here, their structure is this. Attendance at ULAA conventions are based on delegation. So take for example, we here in the Delaware Valley chapter as ARJA, their constitution provides that every chapter sends 50 delegates. So like you said, for example, if we could use the situation of Atlanta, their law provides that, their chapter law provides that in order to be able to qualify as a delegate, you must be in good financial standing and you must have attended not less than 2 chapter meetings. And what happened was that the leadership in Atlanta sent a list. And on that list, some members of the chapter claim that there were individuals whose names appear as delegates. Those individuals, don't qualify because they strongly believe that the attendance records did not match up to what the Constitution requires, and the financial standing also did not match up. So they asked the leadership over there to say, hey, now you submitted the list, can they bring us the records? So the guys who felt aggrieved, they wrote the national leadership. The national leadership reached out to the chapter leadership in Atlanta, and Mr. Kamara is saying that the chapter leadership, the president specifically, came across as disrespectful. So that matter was not resolved. Even with that, he said there are some members of the National Board of Directors that the National Board of Directors are supposed to be working with the national administration. Mr. Kamara is saying that there are some members of the National Board of Directors that still encourage those people to come. They say, hey, you don't listen, you just come to the convention. So they came. Then the other people from Iowa, they had their own internal rivalry too. The president and the vice president having internal beef. As a result of
So
that,
I
I
think
think
in a nutshell, we're not going to spend the night on this. I think
yeah,
in a nutshell, Moses, what I'm hearing here, the the, the low representation of chapters at the national convention impede the possibility of having the elections. Is that what I'm hearing?
no, it's not the low revenue. There were a good number of people that show up,
Okay, so
but
the
the argument,
reason now, yeah, tell
yeah, the main argument here is there are people that show up, and those people
when I
they not
including
were not considered to be delegate. They came as individuals, and they wanted to participate.
in the election.
Those who came as delegates said, no, we cannot allow you to participate because you guys, your chapters have problems. So you need to resolve your something. And when we come for convention, we don't come to this to resolve chapter issues. So that took a lot of part of the convention activities, trying to review that matter, find a solution. At the end of the day, they ran out of time. So according to Mr. Kamara, as a leadership now, they say, hey, time is against us. It's almost 5 o'clock. We need to debate all these issues to decide whether you will sit or not. Since we don't have the time, we're going to cancel the election. He went ahead. He canceled the election. After he canceled the election, the National Board of Directors that should be working with him instead went ahead and removing.
So his cancellation of the election was not.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
was not endorsed by the board of
Was not in
directors.
consonant with. Let's move away from the endorsement first. Did
Yeah,
he make that decision unilaterally because it's is his veto power to do that, or like I said, he didn't
he
maybe.
was chairing the convention. He was chairing the national president chairs the convention, so he was chairing the convention. Uh, he said
But I'm just
it
thinking out
became
loud here whether he did consultation before canceling.
everybody was there. I think there was disagreement. There was disagreement because he heard him say there were board members who even encouraged people to come to the convention, and those people did not
Delegates
qualify as delegates. Yes.
who were not delegates
Yeah, we were not delegates, and
come.
they wanted to participate as delegates. So the whole place was in crisis. In
Okay.
order to resolve the crisis, he exercised his executive power to cancel the election.
So then after the cancellation of the election,
The board removing.
yeah, and did we know if they had a dinner ball and all of that that night?
Well, I heard someone say that the ball was held, but it defeats the purpose
Okay.
because the reason why those people flew in and all of that was to come and hold election. Mr. Kamara's tenure, technically expired last Saturday. He has entire executives.
So that means
And
regular,
and
regular
then Volcano,
leadership, yeah.
look at this interesting one, right? The very board that removed Mr. Kamara, the board tenure has also expired. The board tenure expired, but before coming to the convention, according to Mr. Kamara, the very board members met and decided to extend their tenure to 2024. You
But,
understand it?
but could they have done it
Well,
after the
that
constitution?
what Mr. Kamara is saying, they broke the very law
Uh-huh.
of the organization. The board extended its tenure.
Let's just hear a little bit of the noise here from
Yeah, okay,
my
yeah,
the way
yeah, yeah. Listen
I'm
to that.
doing things here.
Yeah.
voting for the president. Is having an interview. The president will be here, will vote here. I will be here. We will make a decision. If a decision is made for the people to vote, the people will vote. If it's made for them not to vote, you may have to leave. I'm sorry. But let's wait. The decision will be made. We need to listen to the reason why. Because we don't know position. This is all Liberian elections. Nobody here against anybody. Nobody knows what to do. We are going to follow the constitution. We are going to follow the constitution. If it's not resolved, as the president of this chapter, I'm going to make a call. The election will be heard to this
So what I'm hearing here, the LAP is the chapter.
Yes, a chapter, yeah.
Is the chapter here for
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania represented under ULA.
Mhm.
And people are complaining about taking time off work to come all the way here, get hotel room, and here we
Yeah.
are. But let's just wrap this up quickly.
Mhm.
Were there other candidates, and what were those candidates saying? Who were trying to unseat Shua? Of course,
Uh, uh,
unseating is not a term because he was already
yeah,
like.
yeah. Mr. Kamal was going for. I mean, he was going for re-election.
Well,
Okay.
I thought this was his last term.
No, his first term expired last Saturday.
Okay,
That's why
so
he was running for,
okay,
again to see whether he would be re-elected.
okay,
And his vice president, other people were also contesting.
okay,
Right
yeah,
now, it's my understanding that a member of the board of director was also running against Mr. Kamara for the presidency,
hmm
and then another member of the board, I think, was also running for another position. In fact, for the vice presidency. So you had two board members that were also. How do you manage that volcano? You board member, you're supposed to play a supervisory role at the same time you're contesting against the sitting president. You guys managing the process and at the same time you're participating in the process. You should decide who participate and who doesn't participate. That creates just some level of conflict of interest right there,
yeah.
you know. And now you remove this man, but you yourself as a board, your tenure has expired. So just to wrap it up quickly, Volcano, this just speaks to the level of crisis in our community. Uh, I would say 80 to 90% of Liberian organizations in the Americas are all in crisis. Take, for example, the Grand Jury Association has leadership crisis. You have two Grand Jury Association. The Boko Washington Institute Alumni Association, BWR, where I graduated from, we have two leadership. The Nukuta Association is in crisis. They have two leadership as well. They try to resolve their differences, but that still remains shaky. Several other community organizations in the Americas are all in crisis. And this is where I would like to give it up to Aja. To Aja on. Aja right now in the
Let's
in,
use
in
something
the
quick,
diaspora,
okay?
yeah,
Let's
is
use
the
something-
only stable organization in the Americas. Aja has had no leadership crisis since 2014 when the organization was revived. Aja remains stable. Aja political transition has been very smooth. Last weekend, Aja had election for a new team of officers. You don't have board of directors, and the leadership and the executive leadership, literally going at one another's
All
throat
right.
like that.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
the other people, they are in trouble.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
here we are with this conversation tonight. We'd like to welcome Fergie Moyu, Raymond Clark, Maria Gardell, Shaggy McAfee, A. Sumo, and Flomo Livingstone. Good to see you guys here tonight. Please continue to invite others to join us here. We're just looking at EULA and its stalemate at the convention, not holding its national elections to usher in a new leadership. So as it is right now, I know that probably they might end this in court or something like many other organizations, or however they're going to do it with a dissolved board or a dissolved president, but they all say they're going to hold on. So something has been trending on social media regarding a Liberian, a young woman who got into an intimate relationship with a guy by the name of Lucas Richards, who went to Liberia on missionary trip. He left his family here, married legally, and go to Liberia and start a relationship with this young woman. And she ended up getting pregnant. Again, whatever the circumstance, he ejected her with some kind of injection, to abort the baby, with the intent to abort the baby. And maybe not being too sure, he decided to end her life. And accordingly, and we hear from her at some point that he has done all kind of scheme, took her here, there, yonder, and finally decided to pretend to change his car tire at the side of the road where it was not too, late, but it was evening time, getting dark, by evening time. And according to the girl, she felt this, struck on her head, and she fell over the embankment and fell down into the gutter. And he then went over her and started to cut her throat. And passerby or someone who were watching from a distance,
Motorcyclist.
yeah, ran there with a stick and started to attack him, and he had to run for his life. In the process of running, in fact, accordingly, he knocked some guys down just to get to safety, and he ended up at the Bushra Island police station, I believe, point four. But I don't know his status right now. As far as in that moment, he was at police. He was at the police station in police custody, and the girl is currently recuperating uh, in hospital. But you can see how her throat was cut. The only blessing for her, he did not cut the what we call goose
Esophagus.
pipe. Yeah, we
Yeah.
call it a goose pipe, right? The esophagus or the to-
Yeah.
thoracic cavity or something. It's called something. That
Yeah.
stuff that look like a little pipe,
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, um, I think the news hit one of these local stations here in the U.S. So let me just roll it up here quick.
An American arrested abroad and a local church finds itself a part of the controversy. Only on KCCI, senior reporter Todd Nagel just got some new information from that church. Todd? Well, Scott, this is a pretty complicated situation at KCCI. Started getting tips and emails last week regarding a missionary that's affiliated with Creekside Church in Urbandale. Now, he faces some violent accusations in Liberia. Creekside Church first posted this message to Facebook last week about Lucas Richard, a missionary from Louisiana, who the church says it has supported for many years. Now, in the post, the church wrote that Richard was attacked and robbed in Liberia and then requested prayers for him. But on social media, many people have a different interpretation, many of them accusing Richard of slitting a woman's throat. Several media outlets in Liberia are reporting Richard has been charged to try to kill a woman named Jessica Lloyd. Late this afternoon, Creekside Church pastor Steve Smith shared another update. The church acknowledged its original post came off to the Liberian community as insensitive to the victim. The church wrote, quote, "Prayer is our first priority when confronted with a situation such as this. The church is sensitive to Jessica, who also accuses Lucas Richards of perpetrating the act. Now, for her sake and in light of our relationship with the Richards, it is always our obligation to seek the truth," unquote. Now, Creekside wrote that they trust the legal system in Liberia to find the truth and render justice. Now, KCCI has confirmed this is also on the radar of the U.S. Department of State, which told us they're aware of the arrest of an American citizen in Liberia. The State Department declined to comment further. The church tonight says Richard is no longer representing Creekside or will receive their support. Some local Liberians are planning to hold a gathering outside their church Sunday morning to continue to keep this story alive. Scott.
So that's just to set the trend.
Mm-hmm.
First, the church. Apparently, he played what you call what victim, right?
Yeah, he played victim. Yeah.
Yeah, accordingly, they bust up the SUV,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to run for his life.
Yeah.
and all of that, but he didn't tell the story.
Misrepresented the
Yeah,
truth.
he didn't tell the story as he should have, and it got to the point where then you know. So here's another clip here, quickly. So that's the guy there coming out
Hmm.
uh, from, I believe, maybe it's Temple of Justice, because this is the color of the, structure there, one of those coats, I believe. So
Hmm.
he's the one there coming out.
This is Lucas Richard, a guy who allegedly attempted killing his fiancée, Jessica Lloyd, on September 14. He's now being escorted to the Monrovia Central Prison. Trial and St. Paul Bridge Magisterial Court, where
So it was one of the
Yeah.
coats, yeah. So
Magisterial code, yeah.
the men are going to mosquito capital, what do you call it,
Yeah, Central Prison.
Monrovia Central Prison,
Yeah. The
so
overpopulated prison facility.
when you get there, he was jack. He was say, you bought you bought you bought a mosquito. So here's the girl. Let's go to her, and she talk a little bit about her situation here.
It's sad. It's
Yeah.
really sad.
But it will be us. So see the world. For example, when you know the first natural name of the although we went there, the Bona boss name, they see where me they want that money. So he say he makes the rule, so the director in the play. But the chain was behind us. So he couldn't do anything but first of all, we get out from the car, he took out the left, big left. He said, I feel a snake, so in case one see snake, then we'll kill it. And I go, yeah, I'm not expecting
Who against it with Neff?
Yeah, can you imagine that?
You know, for a long stick to beat snake, you can't Neff. You say you went kill snake. And then how you playing?
It was premeditated, yeah.
get out from the car and put in the new project. And so we go to the outside. People were playing it there, so we couldn't do anything.
Yeah, man.
We don't know when it's so gonna push it up. We say, people, it's a push, but they push around, but they go, people. In the same piece with it? Yeah.
Mm.
So straight go to patient there. Drive and get some. So he say, go people. And so, okay, let me go to the water, and go people. But after being anything, see some animal in your bush. The boy never in your pocket. So when he said, oh, can see you. I saw the season like animal in abortion. And so I said, scary. I just stood up behind him, but it's the one going to go close and just wanted to keep me with them. So I just think behind him. When he finished peeping here, I said, wash your hands. Thank you for going to listen to the I said, yeah, wash your hands. After I finish, I hold in the bottle. When you want somewhere again, say you don't be again, someone will push it.
Hmm.
So you say, oh, stay behind me small, when there is small trying to be passing around. I have to go very behind, but not too close. So when you finish, I will look for the direction and play the car where go in the car, we can.
So you park the car.
Show all the other side point said, if for the everybody place in the direction. So that after that, we go in the car and we went to the road I believe we come from. When you come inside of the road on the other side, so that the road will keep back way. Then we go back again. Then we go back again on the same road to patient shop road in the estate. Go on that side, then we're going to the other side, going until we go to the other side. And then we walk going on. So all the prayer places, he passed by the place. I said, oh, but we left one place, and I told someone, so okay, other places then because someone had preached and all that and nobody preached. But before then we saw the cemetery. He said, oh, I don't know if people are seeing that prayer but sometimes and we're going to go to the cemetery to go see the grave, the name, the time people die. I said, no, I won't go there. I said, no, I fear I won't go be seeing grave. So I will wait for someone.
So man saw cemetery won't care to get her to go
Yeah,
see name because that's another easy spot to also kill her.
yeah, because people will not be around there. Yeah.
And then the bush people are not playing. Nobody was there. Nobody said no answer. For this time, then they were washing or everything on the Africa. So in Africa, he said the cat have problem. They wanted to face it or to change it. And I said, okay, I was sitting in the car at first. So when he got down, and then he said, oh, Jessica, I think you need to help me. So he brought it all up, and I was like the meeting in him. Then he had it all up, take. No, I didn't. So instead of eating it and I can finish with all that, I said, okay, I'm not thinking of anything. So I was telling he said, what dead in your head? So he opened up in my head. He opened it up. Felt like you were cleaning the dirt. So he hit it. I yelled, whoop. So I felt like maybe the scar tire was or the thing I was telling the girl crying inside about checking. I fell in the grass, started checking. I must sleep there from my phone. But then I woke up. Because he pushed me by on the ground. It's like a time. Because he pushed you by. Yeah. Woke up, he pushed me by his voice. Like the boss one here was saying, hitting my leg, hitting my back.
Yeah.
So when he pushed me by on the ground, he said, I thought he did it left and then he was cutting in the ball. I was not feeling it. He gave me medicine at first, but I took infection medicine or I think my stomach in the capsule. I told him.
Your painkiller.
Maybe almost 2 months and then give me injection in my vein with some kind of medicine to
Painkiller.
elaborate the stuff the inflammation in the malaria. So it's better one. So I take the infection medicine with me and then I said, oh, my stomach is hurting. So he gave me some kind of medicine. He said, well, I'm used to it. So I take it. So I took the medicine in the car before everything. So when he hit my ear first, I was checking. So when you keep over me, I feel like you won't help me. So I say, all right, because all right, I was still checking. I say, all right, just give me. I stood up, he pushed me back on the ground. He pushed me and rolled me down small. But the kind he was chopping the leg. So it felt the boss on yours. So that's why you need both deep. So the boy picked on the stake and found all the boss say, hey. So he just left me. I know how all the fucking take place on my hand. Because when he pushed me down, I was fighting. You know, I was not fighting him to say, oh, give me, for any investment or anything. I was just letting him, just letting him out all right here. So when you hear me first, I just feel like the quarantine into English. Because he said he was like, checking what was going on. I think because I was checking, so he said he was checking.
So well,
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things that happen in third world countries, particularly our own country, where these people come and take advantage, all because young woman like this does not have means of sustaining, and so it's an opportunity, for her to be with a white man. And
But don't forget about
no,
the
no,
ways. But Joseph,
no, no, but what am I saying now?
mm-hmm.
Because it look like this thing here, they're not ordinary stuff. Yes, the girl mother here about to explain too. So let's hear from the mom.
Okay.
And my man, that on this side, that man, the
I mean,
play.
it's a serious. That's a serious offense right there.
You say you want to marry this girl.
Okay, listen
A
now.
situation happened with an American guy, Lucas Richard, a missionary in Cape Mount. And my children on the tomb. Why tell you MS on the how wow. And where my children is, two of them. So he went there to go teach, he saw my daughter, he fell in love with her. He said he wanted to marry this girl. So he went, she told me she engaged me on it. I said, okay, if you love me, no problem. She said, mama, you got a wife. So I said, then why now? Why you was saying you want to marry you a wife? No. He said he told his wife agreed to go, hey, he wants second wife because the woman he married is an older woman. So I said, okay, if you love you then, y'all can come over, where he bring you to see the family. So she said, okay. So later on, after 1 week, two other king. Now I knew you are here.
First of all, here's the other issue here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the ethical issue here. The man is a teacher.
Yeah.
He's teaching a girl who is probably in high school,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And he started to go with her, declares that he's married, and giving story about having second wife.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he coming from Utah, because of Utah, the man, and he from Louisiana,
Yeah.
and so let hear from the Omar.
Yeah.
So you see here, they're going out.
Yeah.
She on a mission. They're hiding the relationship from the mission, from his wife. My way in Monrovia area don't know what's going on. You send your child on the mission thinking said they're gonna get good education.
Education and marriage
You got
taking advantage of her. Yeah.
missionaries coming and teaching. That's just one side of the story here. We can
Mm-hmm.
imagine how much over time since missionaries have been coming in our country and many third world countries and what they've been doing, Moses. It's an exposure here so people can see some of these things.
So later on, the key to the horse visited us. The other few family members that were there, we thought, he said, oh, I want to do a tradition. So I said, okay, he did a tradition. After the tradition, top picture, he said, oh, I want to go and come back to go to the port for us to get our document. I said, okay. So he said, but I want to be in sin because I'm a Christian. I pay the diary first. I said, okay. So I go low. The children, they carry them out.
How the hell you're not being seen you pregnant again? You already were having intimacy with the woman.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Then,
it right there.
then you talking about you want being seen so you want to bring cola
Wanna make it legal now.
and beg rest.
Yeah.
So later on, the last day when I was in Cape Mount to a era. So they were there. The house she comes to Mama, it looked like I'm pregnant. So I said, okay, when you come to town, then we'll go to the hospital to go check it up. So I said, you told Lucas, he said yes. Lucas happy about it. So we went to the hospital, she came to town after the program, they came to town. When they went back on the mission, they went out on the mission, they said, Lucas, Jessica will not match because they get the information like Jessica and Lucas going up. So she told me, so I said, I thought Lucas, the people on the mission know about it. But anyway, she said, Mama, come for me. She said, I'm marching. So I said, okay, I'll come for you. They said, hey, ma.
So you hear that? She was supposed to march.
Yeah.
Apparently to graduate. The other
Because
missionaries folks didn't even know.
No, it was done secretly.
Really?
So later the
Yeah.
information became
Yeah,
exposed,
started getting exposed.
and on the basis of ethics, instead of punishing the girl, that's why I will have problem with for the
Yeah.
other missionary. Instead of punishing this young woman, what did the administrator do to the very Lucas man?
Or to protect the woman.
Yeah, to protect this young woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did they do?
Brother, no, but it's my brother will not march until the end of 2 weeks. I said, okay, you come on.
So her brother, so it was she and her brother there in school.
Mm-hmm.
And now they said the brother can't mind because he knew about the thing he thought.
Can you imagine that?
So I went for a sister that even said he was sleeping on the mission. So my auntie and myself went for her. We brought her in the keke. We went for Chata keke. We went for her. Okay, after 2 weeks, he came out. He visited us. He said, "Oh, I will find a partner with everything in there before going to the States." So I said, "To find a partner, it will be hard for now." So what I would do, if she be with me, so in our own place, you can go and come, or you come back, or you can send the money. Then we can find a place. He came down there. That evening when he came, they went inside. Now the girl was putting the girl back out to EW hospital. Went to the hospital and said she was confirmed that she was pregnant. So they gave her medicine and thing. They say, oh, they did her ultrasound. They say, yeah, that true, the belly there. They did her ultrasound. They say, yeah, she's pregnant for true. The belly was there, but it's like moving. So the pregnancy moved. Then he went. That means our intention, he needed to do it.
You mean he Lucas was the
himself.
cause of the pregnancy?
Yes. He gave her injection in the vein. So that night, I called her back. I said, oh, Lucas gave Jessica injection, but he said, oh, her left week, and she bleeding. So he said, you sure you do an intention on it? I said, I don't want to believe that. Because the way he can behave, like he's so lovable. Take his cherishing the family. So I go low. Today, after 2,000, because I'm coming to
Cherishing the family. that the one man that the man wanna speed, right?
Yeah.
Making that happen. Mhm.
You see the
key today. I was just telling you as well to come. He said, they want to share in the apartment. They may be asking you to take on the airport. So you come today. No, the man said, you're taking on the airport now.
Okay.
So you are coming today. He postponed the trip today. So after she came, I got notice. She said, oh, man, Lucas taxi one and all. We say, coming. So Lucas came. Was saying that in front of us. He came, went inside. Jessica came outside to the car, and then went inside. When they went inside the truck, Jessica got in the car. Inside the bus. Got in the car. He said, oh, our father was if I TV plan. This will never happen. Say the parents say, Mommy, I'm very sorry for what happened. I know it was not easy, but I'm sorry. I think that he feeling so bad. I said, no problem, because if I go away, I'll let it be done. So he went inside to her. On the feet of the two of them got in the car. When they got in the car, they left. As soon as they left, I said, I go back. I went to church. And the church closed on me. I time my laptop. After the transfer in Josephine. I went to church after the service. While I was coming back, because as soon as I went, they almost said, no, long time today, that short time. The person who had the day. So after we praying, I pay my offering and dinner.
Which means no long service.
No long service. Yes. So while I was on my way coming back, and I very now when the better move, I was rushed to the home cleaning. That's the time. Before I came out here, I came to home cleaning at night. We have to patient shop. They said they want to take on to the DSC. I said, no, let me call hospital first. But I couldn't get in that now. Couldn't get in. Later on, I start testing. Just start testing. Say, oh, I'm bleeding this and like acting like this. So feeling bad.
Okay.
Yes. So when I came on the back coming for service, then I saw the car out there left me for almost 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I saw the car passing by me to a giant market. So I said, I want Jessica and Lucas. Worry out. Maybe that in the estate area going fast so I could say that. So I went home. I said, in for the horse. My auntie was cooking for my brother. He said, what's up? So she was cooking. So I said, I saw Lucas and Jessica in the car just about there. Yes, said, I was left there. Why are they going to one side? So in less than 30 minutes, I saw Keke coming in the yard with blood, my daughter was blood up. The first thing I went to my mom, I thought accident. I said, what happened? She said, don't you tell my mom, she an asthma patient, your poor water. I said, what happened? The first time someone son-in-law, the children say the Pantia boss's son-in-law was cutting her throat. Carry her in the bush, kept her for the back, you are cutting her throat, and one boy was passing, one can get ball. Hitting, I don't know about ball, get ball. Hitting was turning for the back, but the boss part ain't cutting the get throat. Where they were unconscious, they had the ball hitting for the back. The people second around, joining the car. They speed about the net, they say the net over small speed.
So the local person in question, is he a Liberian or is he a foreigner?
American, typical American man.
White or black man?
White man, typical American white man. I'm talking about so, my brother. People wear on the tradition wearing like the picture and thing.
So Shaggy was asking because she referenced the guy as her daughter's husband. So Shaggy, I think that clarifies it that they
Yeah, traditionally married.
yeah.
My daughter phone is set somebody on a mission to steal my daughter phone because of the show.
Okay, those who are watching you, including Freedom FM, what do you want us to do for you?
I went for the government to step in because how they can kill people, then they say that government killing people. The American man, all he for, he killing in the country. You are going to kill my daughter project where they say that that's a papa, I just pray because the position my daughter on now. I just pray that God accept me that you be able to. She at the hospital, they get her into one day right now. I can speak to you.
Yeah, Moses.
Yeah, look, Volcano, it's a very sad situation. This is what happens when you have extreme poverty in a country. A number of things that happen here that just don't add up. First, this guy engaged in what we call bigamy. He's married in the United States. He went to Liberia.
Let's put him there
Yeah,
small so people can really see the guy.
yeah,
This is Mr. Lucas.
yeah.
Let me
He's
zoom
married.
him in.
Hmm.
Hold on, you talk. Let me just zoom him in.
Yeah,
So yeah, the man.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, the man.
Yeah, man.
So he's married in the United States. He went to Africa. He decided to engage into another marital affair. Uh, the family poor. The few dollars he threw, he heard a woman say, "Oh, that man is a very nice man." How much
Next to the
money did he give them? Nice to the family because he was bringing $1 or $2,
so that him
and
like
so that was enough. And another thing that happened, even the school did not help the young woman. This man went as a missionary. He took advantage of this young woman. The school did not intervene. What did the school do? The school stopped her from graduating. They stopped her brother from graduating because they claimed the brother knew about the relationship and he didn't report it. How do you transfer someone's crime to another
hold
person?
on here. Yeah, the man here. Yeah, he and
Yeah,
his wife.
yeah, he and his
This
wife.
is his wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, the get through there where he was cutting.
cutting. Yeah,
The man all look like serial killer. Eh?
you know.
That torso. Eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the,
this.
look,
Yeah,
see right here. You see what my
mhm,
cursor is? Look
yeah.
at the get through. The man was cutting the get through.
The man cutting the leg get through. Beautiful young woman.
Look at,
You
look at
know. Yeah.
the man cutting the book get through, my man. Look
I
at the
hope
man.
I hope volcano. I hope justice will
Yeah,
prevail, but unfortunately,
that was
our
man
criminal
sitting down here in America, and then he over there getting married traditionally. Whether he became traditional man, man, my man, like you said,
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about the poverty thing that going on
yeah. My man,
in our country.
extreme poverty. The man is plotting a young woman, and the mom said the man is a nice man.
But that's
You
the
know,
persona he presents, Moses.
yeah, he gave few dollars. Volcano, that's what happened. That's what destitution does.
You know, sometimes, and I like Maria Gada is asking, how old is the girl? These journalists don't ask these kinds of questions. Ma, how old is your daughter? In the first place, that she should be intimate with her teacher. You know,
Yeah,
you ask the kind of question. So,
but even that
you
question,
answer.
right, Volcano? Even in the United States, yeah, we have teachers who prey on why young people. You have teachers who going out with 14-year-old, who going out with 16-year-old, and those people, are being prosecuted. are being prosecuted in this country because the laws are there. When you do that, that's statutory rape. So this man, whether that woman was even, let's assume that she was even 20. I mean, I shouldn't say was. Let's assume that she's even 20. For the fact that he decided to get into a relationship with her, you know, now this is what the law gonna look at. Who has more control over the other? Of course,
Mhm.
he is.
Yeah, because
He's in a supervisory position. He's an instructor. So he manipulated her. He took advantage of her. He exploited her. He cannot win. He can so the relationship
so
was
so
consensual.
so let's,
No.
so let's hear from him. Okay,
Mhm.
when he was in police custody.
Yeah.
Explain exactly what happened on the scene. Explain
Making her stories.
Hold on, Moses.
and how you came here. Yeah, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
Um, the only thing I don't know the police officer's names involved, but you guys can figure that out. Okay. She asked me to help her with $150 US,
Okay.
which I do monthly. I went there to her parents' house after I ran a few errands in town. I think you have some of my receipts over there.
Okay.
I go and I give her the $150. She gives it to her mom. Her brother was there too. She asked me for milk, cornflakes, and a few other things. And so the two of us went from right there. They live around something shop junction, and I carried her to Harbell Supermarket. We bought cornflakes. We bought all of those things. And even if the receipts are gone right now, you can even ask Harbell. They can show you footage of us going in there together. Why would I be buying these things for someone who's going to hurt me? Then from there, we decided that I could drop her. I don't have to take her back to her parents, and that I could drop her there because at Monrovia Highway, she would get a motorbike and she would get. So I pulled the car. The first area where there was like coal tar that you could pull off on the main coal tar, I pull off, put my trafficators on. Because two things. She's getting a motorbike to go back home, and I needed to check my back right tire because I've been having a problem with that tire. And I could feel when I was driving that something was not
Yeah.
correct. So while she was waiting for motorbike, standing on the coal tire, I'm I'm down there literally trying to jack up my thing.
Okay. So you went for her to her house. You took her to the supermarket. Your boy or your friend buying. So in our direction, she was getting on bike to go back home.
No, after the supermarket, we drove for a small time to lecture. Then she said she would take another bike to go back. Because, I mean, the place and everything fit inside plastic.
Our parents knows you.
Yes.
Our parents knows you.
Yo.
Huh?
Yes. Yes. Because I asked their blessing, and when we were starting to have a relationship, uh, we're going back to the story. She's standing on the side of the coal tar, and I'm standing there doing this with the jack thing. And next thing I know, a motorbike comes out of nowhere and hits her, and she goes into a ditch because right after this,
Yeah. Making
So
her stories.
so first thing, the girl said he told her to come out of the car to help
Hmm.
him with the tire. It's
With the
not like
tire.
she
Yeah.
was standing out there waiting for any motorbike.
No.
All of the attempts and the places he's driven just to cut the little girl through.
Trying to take her to the cemetery, otherwise you try
And
to.
he
Uh,
lead that one, or he acting like he confused now. He
yeah.
say he won't cry. And they quit to cry, you
Yeah.
see that so? When they
Oh,
not
yeah.
doing
The
it,
pretend.
they quit to cry.
Yeah.
You cry
Hmm.
it. How you going to temple to Royal Central Prison?
this coal tar is like a little extra coal tar on the side of the coal tar. Right after that is just a big ditch.
Okay.
The motorbike hit her. She fell backwards and rolled into that ditch.
Can you imagine that?
I think she even fell backwards and hit the edge of the coal tar because
You see?
blood coming
He trying to justify
into
the
the.
hit on the head now. Now why you explain? Yeah.
I leave what I'm doing and I go to check on her and help her out and ask her if she's okay. I bring her up onto the coal tar, and at this point, this motorbike, this motorbike driver that just hit her,
is yelling out to other motorbikes, KK, whatever that's driving by, in this big lorry, big truck, big red truck that was carrying, I don't know, a dump out truck, something like that, telling them that I hurt the girl, that I did something to the girl.
But stop there. They cutting on their throat here. They
Yeah, how did that happen?
are neck cutting.
Yeah, that
Neck cutting.
motorbike,
You,
how that
you
one
hear that?
happen?
Motorbike hit you, then you call on your neck. What do you call? What is?
Yeah.
Eh?
Let's, Volcano, let even buy the argument that he's trying to make, right? He said the motorbike hit the guy and he hit the concrete or whatever.
Yeah,
Is that where we caught her on her neck
yeah.
with a knife?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just difficult to believe what he's saying. These motorbike guys are stopping and they're vexed at me. I'm walking around the front to go get in the car. She was
I say he talking like Liberian man. Huh? Like, hey, going to Central Prison, he would talk more with the mosquito.
walking around the front with me. Yeah. She goes around the front and she's coming to get in the car. Then something goes through the window and see that? Me right here on the head. And when it hit me, I did like this on the steering wheel. And one of the guys took a big stick and started pounding. He came in front of the Land Cruiser and he started pounding on the thing. And so at this point, she's telling me to go. She would be okay as me though, because they think they're probably going to get money from me. I had $400 in my pocket. No, 350 because I gave her 150. I had $350 in my pocket right here and some small in my wallet right here. It was becoming so bad, and the truck believed that I was doing something wrong, so he was wanting to stop me. She's telling me go, and everything that I've heard about motorbike drivers in Liberia is that if something happens, you are always wrong, especially if you're from outside, because they think they can get money from you. So I hit the gas and I start going. I didn't hit nobody. I even hit before I put it in gear. I did like this so that they backed up, and then I went. And of course, the motorbikes were following me, and the motorbike that hit her already had his motorbike out of the something. All I remember is that it was a red motorbike with a license plate in front. That's all I remember about it. But when they started following me, and I didn't know where to do. The only thing I knew was go to the first police officer that I could see. Okay. So what's the relationship between this guy and so I get to the first. See him pretending? He doesn't want to explain that. Yeah, police officer.
What is the relationship between you and this girl? He pauses,
Acting
he
like he's
acts like
crying now.
creepy, and then he goes to another police station story. But the man who
He
asked the
doesn't want to
question,
talk about
but the man who asking the question does not come back to him and say, "I ask you, what is the relationship with this girl?"
officer was so scared because he got hit with the same things they were jumping at me. They busted all my. Look at that Land Cruiser. They busted all my. Avoided that question. They hit that police officer. He told me to keep going to the next police. And he was going to try to stop these people. But that didn't work. Finally, when I reached to I don't remember the exact how you call that area, but that goes on to the Walla. The police officer, came and said,
He acting like he injured. Like he said,
yeah.
he's speaking like he from Liberia. So yeah, so you know, we have Princess what's her name? Princess Copper, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. I was in Liberia when this thing happened. Moses. I went to the crime scene, ELW Junction. I was privileged to walk in and see the pool of blood coming from the bathroom, the outside bathroom direction, where the girl had gone to use the bathroom to ask the security guard,
Yeah.
and she didn't make it far and she fell. I went in that compound. That's early morning. The crowd was there. What happened? It said
My
tobacco.
kids just ended like that.
And the girl had gone to these Lebanese guys. Why we don't regard ourselves? We're not saying that this guy is guilty until he's proven guilty.
Of course, the law must take a course.
You understand me? But in a nutshell here, they've been talking story that are not adding up.
The story is not adding up,
Yeah,
Volcano.
you're not giving. He was supposed to be able to talk plenty. You're not talking plenty.
Not.
You know,
There are too many
and
doubts.
it's sad. It's
So
sad.
let's even assume that this young woman was hit by a motorcycle. Where did the knife come from? To you know, with a cut on her neck.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did that knife come from?
Hmm.
That's not adding up.
No, it's not.
And look at the allegation from the mom that the girl was pregnant and he injected her.
Yeah,
If this family was not impoverished, by now that man would have been in court long time. He's not a medical doctor. Why would he inject somebody?
we don't.
And with what?
We don't know. He comes with a missionary background. He could be a nurse. We don't know.
Yeah, okay. Let's assume that. But then the reason here would be why did he inject her wife?
Yeah,
If the parents knew this, and the same mom said that, oh well, we just let it go. We got a man go and give you $25, $50.
hmm, yeah.
What kind of the situation is sad, man?
Come on, man. What's the business there?
It's a real sad situation. People exploit our people because our people are literally beggars.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
poor.
yeah. And
Yeah.
just blessed to be alive. You know,
Mhm.
because I mean, I'm just trying to find something here from another one that I saw. You know
Mhm. Yeah,
how
we are discussing now. Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know how the man caught to get through. I was trying to find out one, but just so you see the
Yeah, but
rawness,
that's
trying
okay.
to talk. Yeah, but so this is the situation. But Moses, I think we pray that the law will take its course. We hope that the Roche Court lawyer in all in Monrovia will not take this case, go with the judge.
I thought Johnson. I hope
Yeah,
I thought Johnson will not take this case and go
yeah,
defend his man.
and then bribe, and then that man be
Mhm.
walking out of Liberia scot free.
Yeah.
Scot free. So I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned. Uh, I will hope that he will be tried, um, and honestly that justice be served. But
Yeah, that's all we asking for. Justice must be served.
people can just come from nowhere and just start claiming, you know, sanctuary in Liberia and then do wicked stuff and get away with it. Because if you look at it, his sustenance in Liberia is dependent on the job he's doing for Liberians.
Of course.
He's not working for free.
All our funding he got in
Yeah,
from abroad is
yeah,
because of Liberians that he went
yeah.
to serve. Yeah.
So he's not
Mhm.
working for free. So for him to
Yeah.
come over there and do what he did, do we know whether he has a track record? Do we know whether he's done in other third world countries? Could this,
Forget about even other tower
I mean,
Volcano.
could this be his first
Yeah.
missionary and assignment, overseas assignment? We don't know. That's bravery. That's bravery. You already ejected the young woman with something, and you knew that the pregnancy was aborted. Then to what extent? The mother said he had sent to go collect the girl phone to hide evidence. I don't think he read it to his wife in America anything.
No.
Is the woman picture we're looking at here that old woman? The woman
No.
that showed the wife
No.
from what the mother said? So this was the scam he was putting up and giving stories. But we spent time on it, like you said, so let's move on. We are 8:30. We won't be here all night. So Mr. Weah launched, I believe it was September 7th. He launched his campaign officially at the uh
SKD. I mean ATS.
yeah,
Antoinette.
Antoinette Tubman Stadium. and it was a beautiful day. You know,
Hot
all
weather.
things being equal, the best weather, and they said it was the biggest crowd. You know, seeing the
Yeah.
posting, and then past
And
Sunday, the 17th,
no,
he launched his
Volcano.
let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
He launched his campaign. So
Yeah.
I think the crux of what we want to talk about here are the supporters who are claiming victory now on either sides,
Yeah.
and let our audience, let the world be the judge as we go through the conversation. So coming.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say, like you said earlier, Mr. Weah and the CDC, they planned the event. It was well planned. Huge investment. People were transported from all over the country. There are videos out there that show people,
But but
being
but
compensated
but I think you
for showing
jumping.
up.
Hold on,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
jumping.
okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
We said we'll look at
Mhm.
factors, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Let play the
Oh,
clip,
yeah. Let's play the video.
and
Yeah.
then before you come into your factors.
Yeah.
So we're just looking at crowd. That's all we're looking at, crowd.
Man, lockdown ATS. Blue and red, my man.
Okay, so the old man crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, the people saw that crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we got all the crowd here. But
From the CDC.
before we come, no, that was
Okay.
CDC best crowd we can show. But
Okay.
before we come to crowd, let's look at what you were about to talk about.
Yeah.
Talked about the conditions, the factors that made CDC pull
To have that
this crowd.
turnout. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So as I was saying, uh, uh, there are reports in the public domain that the CDC campaign launch was well financed. There are also reports that the CDC has a budget of 50 million US dollars, and the CDC literally pay people in the communities to show up. They provided transportation. Another thing that we need to take note of when they launched a campaign, it was on a Thursday, and a Thursday is a working day. So it is also reported out that some employees of government were all in attendance. So basically, what the CDC did was that they solicited, through financial support, through use of force, the participation of people in their rally, because they have absolute control. They control the coffers. They decide, well, guess what, when, and why. So they were able to pull that number together. Now, I would like to stop there and give it to you. You can make your analysis as well.
No, I mean you already said it. So they
Yeah,
had everything in their favor. You think
absolutely.
about
They
it.
control
Good
everything.
weather on a
Hmm.
working day. It's
Hmm.
compulsory. You go there if you want your job. You better come. Let's go. In fact, I've heard in an extension of what was said,
Hmm.
people needed to show pictures.
Yeah.
They were there. They needed to take selfie that they were there. Otherwise, you in
Yeah.
jeopardy.
You're going into trouble with your supervisors.
But then you think about it too. The
Hmm.
conduit was created because it is the incumbent.
Yeah.
There won't be anything stalling. You saw all of the different streets that they made available.
Yeah, barricaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barricaded and made available as corridors
Hmm.
to bring the crowd. Uh, Good weather, you know.
Absolutely.
Uh, so a lot of factors were
Good
part,
weather,
you know.
food,
Yeah, a
a
lot
lot of food, drink, souvenir, party,
of regalias and paraphernalia.
yeah, paraphernalia were all provided. You look at it, it was what, a blue day, right? So they did everything to facilitate the process.
All of those things were provided by the party. All of those
Yeah.
things that were provided by
Hmm.
the party. But
Yeah.
let's come to the Boakai situation here. The first thing I
Yeah.
want to say, the conditions, the context under which their campaign was held, and we'll play some clips and then we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
somebody's saying here there were celebrities. In fact, they had Van Vicker
Yeah.
brought in
Yeah.
celebrities, and people were not going there because of campaign. They were
I
going
mean,
there to
people spend thousands of dollars. Yeah.
perform.
Yeah.
So let's come to
Hmm.
the Omen Una situation here.
This is Spoon TV, Sylvester Chokles, my name. We want to bring you the condition that supporters of the youth party are going through right here on Lane Street, going towards ATS.
And Moses,
Yeah.
this place, this
Hmm.
place has been like this from the time I came on earth. You know, I went to
Yeah.
JJ Ross, okay? JJ
Yeah. Yeah.
Elementary and Junior High School. At one time, it was on Lane Street, right
Hmm.
opposite the A.B. Anderson Funeral Home. We used to
Yeah.
swim in this deadly water when we were small beginning. The deadly water you looking at, my man.
Yeah.
One time, the car almost rolled over one of my men. When
Wow.
he
You
passed,
guys were swimming.
yeah, in the deadly water, you looking at the deadly
Yeah.
water. You see, when children
Yes,
small,
man.
they ain't scared, they know
Hmm.
about.
No.
So this is Lane Street. Because you see
Hmm.
Lane Street from the Arsenal, Benson Street,
Hmm.
it dips. And then you
Yeah.
got
It goes
something went
like this.
cutting through
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Listen to me, oh. Let me give
Yeah.
you why this water from Lane Street and Benson Street. It comes down and it dips. It falls, right? Then
Hmm.
you got something went coming from Newport Street, Macklin Street, cutting through there, going all the way behind Raleigh Town. When that dish is full, gets full from torrential rain, all that water come on the quota on the street.
Yeah.
The neighborhoods around there get
Yeah.
flooded.
Florida. Yeah.
So then the water continues all the way up. If you remember Public Works,
Yeah.
past
Ministry
Public
used to
Works,
be
yeah,
up there.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's there. Past
Hmm.
Public Works
Hmm.
and where the Red Cross used to be. I don't know if they're still there. The ICRC. Just before you get back to United Nations Drive, where that gas station is, all that place get flooded.
Hmm.
But the bulk of the water is in that dip from Benson down that slope all the way past AB Anderson a little bit. That's what you're looking at here. That's what you're looking at here. And I'm talking about something hundreds of years ago it been like this. And the time I'm talking about here, that the early the mid '70s, in elementary school, mid '70s coming down toward the latter '70s, and
Okay.
it was not as Monrovia was not as filthy as this. So imagine now the danger to be in water like this.
Hmm.
But what I was trying to say that even the resolve of the people, the
Yeah.
city,
Under such a
yes,
climatic condition,
yeah,
Hmm.
it didn't change the resolve.
It did not.
So this is Spoon TV,
Because
Sylvester
it is one of the most used corridors to get to the stadium.
The ATS. Yeah.
And you got to walk in it.
Chokles, my name. We main street where supporters of the Green Youth Party are now making their way out of the ATS to Central Monrovia. How do you feel like walking into the water? How do you feel walking into the water for you now?
So look at that cry ahead of you there. All
In
these
fact,
people going through that water.
just advance to the ATS is
Look at it.
yeah.
Look at it.
Now you in drive area there now.
No, not you and dry. You and dry is not tight like this.
Is the same is the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
lane street going
yeah.
down?
Not you and dry. You and dry
Oh.
is wider than this. I mean, the water used to stop on like onto our neck when we were small.
For the love that they have for the youth party. And of course, it is actually raining. Actually raining.
So people soak.
And so we will try our best to go at the entrance of ATS. Going at the entrance of ATS. Trying our best to go at the entrance of ATS. And of course, it's raining.
So that yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying that if you got another one with the
Yeah,
ATS, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to. But
Okay.
we look at factors, right? We
Yes.
talked about the we are factor and how conducive
It
their
was.
situation was. But here's another factor that could have impeded people from wanting to go.
Of course.
I'm telling you, I called Liberia and it was raining cats and dogs on that day. It subsided a little bit, it came back down.
Mhm.
So it was just a heavy downpour.
Absolutely.
Heavy downpour.
Like the factors you're talking about, right? You and I know that whenever it rains like that, Liberians don't like to be in, cold weather.
But
You know,
anything you got, they can
yeah,
melt. You know that's
yeah,
made a run for rain.
yeah. So the people defy. Can you imagine? Just by the inclement weather, the people defy the weather. Nobody, transported them.
But we'll come to it now. You're coming.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The rescue mission is here.
That's the so our pastor we made mistake. We the young people they didn't hear you. We have to I say people who are in the pangana. We said that last. So we want Joia. But
Yeah.
now we sorry we made mistake. So please forgive us. So you see that queue? That's the
Yeah.
leading down to the ATS.
Mhm.
The rescue mission is here.
You see it from one end to another end.
Yeah.
People even on the porches are surprised. And what you're looking at here, Moses, is the stadium's fence here, right here.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
There.
stadium
I'm
fence.
looking at that.
This
Yeah.
is where I was talking about the
Mhm.
ICRC era because
Mhm.
this is coming up now to United Nations Drive.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's in the stadium now. They're showing we got to open this
Yeah.
gate right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
Icon Distillery. If you remember
Mhm.
Icon.
Yeah, I still remember
Yes.
Nikon. Yeah.
So look at that swell in there, in the ring, in the ring.
Anyway,
So what you see in there, plus the one you see outside, that whole place was going to fall down because nobody was able to stand. Can you imagine the crowd
no.
still coming?
Yeah. Mhm.
When I in the party, when I the rescue mission, when I jam be, when I. All right, so
Yeah.
that little clip came from TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I got one more to go, and then
okay. Then we can
we
talk
can go
about
into
it.
our
Yeah.
conversation and wrap up here.
Hmm.
Um, I believe this is the one, right? Okay. So I guess that's good enough, Moses. You, you,
Yeah.
you can't beat this. We're talking ring. Yeah, I don't even know if I ever be in the ring for that kind of
No,
thing.
I can't.
Uh-huh.
I can't. I just can't Volcano.
That's what ring ever, man.
And two things, right, Volcano? You ready? No, finish the video, then we'll discuss it. Finish the video.
Hey, that's good enough. So go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, what I was saying is that first, this rally was held on a Sunday, a non-working day. On a Sunday, you know how we do back home. Everybody stays at home, go to church, so the city becomes depopulated. But this rally was held on a Sunday. Do the comparison of the turnout, look at the crowd from the CDC rally, which was held on the Thursday, on a working day, where people were literally coerced to come and attend. And look at a group of people that turned out unsolicited. They say we will go, we will do it because this is about Liberia. Look at the turnout. If you do the analysis, you and I will agree that you have more people that turn out for the UP as compared to the CDC. Then another thing that comes is, was anybody induced? Was there any influence as a result of someone throwing money here and there? Did they transport people? Did they provide food? The answer would be obviously no. Joseph Boakai, the UP, what is the budget?
Liberia says that there were more people outside the stadium than even inside the stadium.
Of course, yes.
So you see the comparison. Look at the analysis. You know, everything tend to show that the decision to show up came from within. And this, my own reading into it is that this sends a real strong message to President Weah and the CDC.
But let's imagine though. Let's
Hmm.
imagine this.
Yes,
What if it was a dry day?
that's it. That's a very good one that you just
What if it
said.
was a dry day?
This
You
happened
know
on a
this kind of crowd, very serious. They're not drizzling rain here we're talking
no,
about.
wet day, completely
Yeah,
wet.
rain falling down. Look at that water there. That water was not there Thursday. That water was not there Friday, Saturday. That water
No.
came there as a result of the rain. But here's the other thing I want to add to, right?
Mm.
The man uses a working day, Thursday, when people should be working to enhance the country's economy. He takes that day. The woman said, okay, me, I'm able to compel people to go. I will take Sunday. If somebody can leave the comfort on Sunday, Sunday that our comfort now.
Yeah, my man.
People won't
Comfort
go to
there.
the
Yeah.
beach,
Stay at home.
people won't
Yeah.
stay, people won't go to church, they come back and won't eat the palm cabbage. That
Eat
palm
that
cabbage,
dry rice.
cabbage, no,
Mhm.
cabbage and split peas. No,
Yeah.
cabbage not in Liberia on Sunday, that's Saturday. But the good food. This
Yeah.
time to go walk in the rain all over the place. People want to go to service. But the people forego all of that, not because of the self,
Oh,
not because of boycott, it's because of the country. I listened to Yumbli Kanga just recently, this evening on Spoon Network. She was asked the question, how did she feel when boycott did not pick up? She said boycott didn't promise me, even though the Liberian people created the sentiments around it. And so, of course, yes, I felt that the case was made. But when he decided to go his route, I didn't rush to come say I packed my bag and I went back to my people to talk to them, to make them understand my position is not about me, it's about the country. And I made that position to stay. Yes, I was sought after by other political leaders, but no, I wanted to stay put because I think he has the best platform, in her words,
yeah.
and I think that he would be good for our president. So I'm saying this to say that many of these people did not come here because they wanted to be in the fanfare. Who wants to leave their house to come here to hear Joseph Boakai speak if it's just ordinary? In this kind of rain, walking in
It's
a
kind of
dirty sunny wind water.
that's how I stay at home and listen to the man on the radio. Yeah.
So I just wanted to make this point. And should be afraid.
Of course.
I heard from the inside that they're already fighting each other.
Of course.
They didn't
Even
do enough homework.
just to piggyback on what you're saying, Volcano, even the vice president, Joa Howard Taylor, has panicked. She panicked. She went in the CDC chat room and said, look, all is not lost. Let us go door to door. We cannot afford to lose this election.
But then that means they gotta carry one bag of rice to every door.
And you know what
Shoot.
her CDC people told her? Say, Madam President, how do you guys expect to go door to door when we are hungry? We served you for 6 years. Y'all look the other way. That's what was posted in their chat room. Y'all look the other way.
And accordingly here, I mean, when the pillar says that it was not just the ATS that people are focused on.
No,
They launched across the country.
it was in Lofa.
Yeah.
It was in Grand Judah. It was in Maryland. It was in Nimba. Let's do the analysis. Let's look at the numbers, right? Mr. Weah said the CDC and Mr. Weah claimed that Monrovia County belongs to them. In terms of registered voters, they have over 900,000 individuals that register in Monterey County. And let's assume that just from looking at this number that we have here, let's assume that a good number of those people ready turned out to vote. Wouldn't that endanger, the CDC losing or the CDC chances in Monterey County? Now you have Nima County with over 300,000 votes. Nima is vote rich, and you know how popular Prince Johnson is. Of course, Lofa is going to be there for Ome Boakai. I know the votes will get divided along the line, but let's just do the analysis. Say you get an old man, 60 or 70% of the votes in Nima, in Lofa. You give him 50% in Nima County. You go to Magibi. He claims some. You go to Bomi, where his wife comes from. He claims votes. You go to Grand Cape County, Volcano. The election is over.
Okay. I guess that's what we wanted to look at, Moses. We're running out of time. I gotta do memory lane right now and then wrap this up because I got a lot of stuff to take care of.
And please, we're not saying the UP has won, but from what is trending, this is enough for Mr. Weah, and the CDC to panic. Yeah.
Let me just grab these clips quick here. Manisuma said my nephew and his wife, who are diehard CDC sedition were present at the UP rally. The next day I asked him what did he and his wife were doing at the UP rally. He responded that they went to say sorry to Boakai because they made a mistake for electing we had a question. Sorry. We made mistake. These people came out for free on their own, Shaki McAfee.
Yeah.
Anything from the UP compared to CDC forcing people to come out, paying celebrities, giving people shirts and hats, and even
people motorbikes.
Somebody's asking no calls today, but man, I even know what we'll talk about here.
Yeah.
We'll open
I love take some calls, yeah.
What's this sometimes the thing? I don't know, my man.
I beg you forget. Let this small call. If you want other voices,
Moses, I'm prepping now. You know I gotta be out of here.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so memory lane here tonight by Dr. Manis Sumo. He says here the crowd and the pool versus vote casting, a reality of the Bradley effect. Let me take you back to just a little at the beginning in 1936. Let's go to memory lane. Y'all remember in 1936, it was all about the pool and the crowd turnouts. For that reason, it was predicted that if Alf Landon would have won the election by 55.4% over Franklin D. Roosevelt. In the end, Roosevelt won his second term as president. In 1948, Thomas Dewey, the crowd puller, lost the presidential election to Harry Truman, despite polls showing Dewey far ahead of Truman. Fast forward, in 2004, it was predicted that John Kerry will win the presidency against the incumbent president George W. Bush, only to be proven wrong on elections night. But let me talk about our own Liberia small man. You remember in 1985, it was the crowd and the turnouts for the two leading candidates, Jackson F. Doe and Samuel Doe, with Jackson F. Doe being the favorite and predicted winner. In the end, it was Samuel Doe the winner. You remember Emmett Hammond, the elections commissioner, how he was sweating under the air conditioner while reading the elections results? Then in 2005, it was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf going against George Weah, when all polls and turnouts favored George Weah. In the end, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf won. But history has taught us a lesson. In the United States, the Bradley effect is a theory involving non whites and female voters concerning observed discrepancies between voters' opinions, voters' turnouts, and the actual elections results. As it may relate to Liberia, the Bradley effect is centered on tribal affiliation, partisan politics, role of the incumbent, and vote rigging. So open your eyes. Do not be carried away by the large crowd during campaigns. Just go and vote. Elections, especially in Africa or Liberian elections, are played by the power brokers. They are the referees and match commissioners, both playing against the ordinary candidates. So shine your eyes. The incumbents are heavy handed in directing the results of the elections. Let's cause noise. So come October 10th, 2023, all eyes must be the focus, or all eyes must be, all eyes must be focused rather on the National Election Commission and not alone the candidates or the incumbent. It is the NEC. The incumbents play their games at night and campaign in the day. So be wise. October 10th, go vote, go vote, vote as though your life depends on it. And it does. Vote your future. Vote wise. Vote Liberia. A coming piece. A piece here written by Mane Sumo, a contributor here to the Issues Room, and it's called The Crowd and the Pool versus Vote Casting, a reality of the Bradley effect. So all this crowding we talked about here, I think he wrote this in consonant with the conversation here. But
Yeah.
it just has to say, listen, things were happening behind the scene.
Oh
And
yeah, live.
playing the game at night. I think the crust of it, of what I take away here is that the NEC holds Liberia's future in her hand,
Yeah,
come what may. And I will hope
absolutely.
that Iveta Brown Lansana, my former colleague, a sister, will do what is right by the by integrity. That's all I'm saying. What is right by integrity. If we are wins, give it to him. If Cummings wins, give it to him. If Gonglo wins, give it to him. If Baga wins, give it to him. And let it be by integrity, Moses.
Whoever, whoever wins, walks away with, the result. And that's what many have said and continue to say, that this election is consequential. It is do or die, Volcano. A
Um,
lot has been put into this election. It's so unfortunate that tonight we can't even take our people for at least 2, 3 minutes. I'm
Moses,
sure there are people who really want to say something.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. You open the lines here and people don't call, my man.
just give it a try. Please. So maybe what type of people we can avoid that tonight, and just give our people a few seconds. They
Okay.
may want to say
So
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
just
try.
a few seconds there. Let the what type of country it is. Yeah.
So the number is posted 404-272-2808. Let's hope that the call goes through tonight. I'm not sure. It's like
If not, you can
36.
also post my number as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 494, so they can either call that or call the 494.
So who's the first caller? Liberia. The line open. Go ahead and call now since you want to talk.
Yeah,
You can call this number or you can call this number 302-494-4688. Somebody calling?
no,
All right.
No call yet. If we don't, the next 5 minutes we ain't get a
I'm not
call.
waiting
Then we
5
just
minutes, Moses. I don't have the time to wait for 5 minutes here. Oh man, I'm telling you the truth. I got a lot of
okay.
stuff to take care of.
Hold. I see a call coming in. Hold for me. Hello. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready? Okay.
You know,
Yeah. Go ahead,
that's
sir.
yeah, very interesting topic under discussion.
Okay.
And I just wanted to talk about this crowd thing. And I listened to Memory Lane, and I appreciate the piece and how he echoes his cynicism about crowds and whether that can translate into votes.
Yeah.
And it seems like you guys covered the topic very, very well. And you showed the two clips, and it is very evident. One crowd was induced, everything went well, and the next crowd was, I mean, Liberians have reached a point where I don't think they can take this anymore. I was surprised. I never thought Liberians, and it's not just Boakai supporters, it's people from across the spectrum that brave the conditions to go out there and show us what they did. And it is true that just because you bring out crowd doesn't necessarily mean you will win. But by all indications, I think the old man has shown that, all things being equal, he is the one to beat right now. And you guys are journalists, and so much so that SABC, South African Broadcast, mentioned that for the first time, the global football player's position is under threat. So while it is true that NEC, has a big part to play, but the stakes are so high, it's not as easy to rig elections as people think it is. It's very difficult. And if that's the case, Thomas Fowler would have bulldozed his way, because once people are manning those polls and they have the certified results, and from what I hear, even the U.S. Embassy is going to get copies of the tally sheets. I'm not relying on them, but I don't care what NEC does in her corner to say, oh, this person won like Emmett Hammond did on the gun. Because if you remember when Dillon won, it was the Costa show that announced it. It wasn't NEC. Carriers Gray had gone to a different radio station who manufacture results. So all in all, I'm just saying, while it is true that we can't rely on, crowd numbers, I've never seen a person without crowd win an elections.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. So,
Thank you.
and thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you.
Oh,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Okay.
Okay. Take
Okay.
care.
Bye bye.
All right, Moses. If we're gonna do whatever country is this or not, I gotta start doing some stuff. Like I told you, I gotta
I
tight
know. I
schedule.
know.
It's
I
it's,
know.
it's
I
nine o
know.
five, so I guess we can still do a few minutes of it.
No.
Whatever country is this that the people want to move the men so bad until they walk in poo water. Poo water don't mean nothing to them. This is the first time I've seen it in the history of elections
Yeah.
that people will walk in Sony when water just because they want to move the man.
I know.
What type of country is this, Moses?
What type of country is this? That when George Weah saw the crowd at the ATS on Sunday, he literally passed out.
But he was not in the country though. He left.
The man watched the team from abroad and
Yeah.
he passed out.
Mm.
He called Joel. He said, what is happening in Monrovia? Joel said, Mr. President, I don't even know.
So listen to what Thomas Awaji said. This is so important, but I will put a spin on it. If the people did what they did on Sunday for nothing, he said, I gave up on Liberia. But no, you're not supposed to give up. If the people did what they did on Sunday for nothing, no inducement, no money, no enticing, anything, they did it at the will and pleasure of their own well-being to
We
change,
should celebrate them.
then you should
Yeah.
celebrate that, Thomas, because come October 10th, you ain't gotta tell them to be out there in the rain.
No.
You ain't gotta tell them say you won't put a polling station right in so they went in. I seen water. They will go there, they will wind out
We will
water to
go
go
there.
vote. That's how much they're ready. Man,
Yeah.
what type of country is this? That people run from rain and not trouble.
Yeah.
Oh
What
yeah.
type of country is this? What type of country is this that the vice president comes publicly and saying when they bring the money, you eat it. And on Sunday, the people prove that yes, you brought your money and we ate it and we show up for UP. What type of country is it?
What type of country is this, Shaggy McAfee? That CDC and we have said it will be a one-round victory for them. Now he's walking barefooted, scratching his head, talking about where all those people came from. They are Liberians, my man. They're all Liberians. We are. Manasumo, the will of the people is powerful than the muscle of the gun.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I know that for a fact. It
Yeah.
happened in Romania with Nicolas Ceausescu.
Yeah, Bill Broina.
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
What type of country is this? That the children of Mason are pass sorry. We made mistake. Our pass sorry. So,
We
so,
made mistake.
so, so they're asking for mercy. What type of
Yeah.
country is this?
What type of country is this?
But Moses, here's the other thing I can't stand. What type of country is this that everything is zigwe? I
Yeah.
mean, everything. Did you see
Zikwe.
the situation with Tubman University
Oh
students?
yeah, I saw them. I saw the students
They were
asking,
yes,
faculty to
come
leave
outside.
the campus. Yeah, yeah.
Come outside.
Yeah.
But
I
all
mean,
they're doing, Amanda, I with you. Amanda.
Amanda way too.
Yeah.
The country is all the young people are
Man,
militarized.
man.
You know?
It's
Yeah.
so
Amanda, where to?
so ugly, man. It's so ugly. Liberia,
Yes.
what type of country is this? Where people sleep with their green and white
You
t-shirt
say
night before the rally.
because they wanted to be their own time.
God, you won't be looking for anything.
It's all over, man. I will just sleep with my thing on in the morning. I just wash my face and start walking. What type of country is this? Yeah.
But what type
What?
of country is this? A missionary
Yeah.
comes to the country, eh, and carries on multiple crimes. Multiple. First,
Multiple,
he
yeah.
slept with his student.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, he impregnated his student. Thirdly, he married his student traditionally. And fourthly, he went to cut her throat out just to end her life. Oh no! And fifth, he caused her to have abortion.
Yeah, he injected her.
Yeah,
Reportedly
yeah.
injected her, yeah.
What type of country is this? The man commit 5 crimes or
And,
more,
and nobody says nothing.
and now he down there acting like he's the victim.
Yeah.
What type of country is this?
What type of country is it? What type of country is that? Is this that our criminal justice system is so compromised that people can do anything and just walk away? What type of country is this, Volcano?
What type of country is this, minus Sumo, when the youth can apologize for the mistake? Incredible. So
Yeah.
incredible. Very incredible.
You're right, man.
It's Shaggy McAfee that doesn't do marriage background checks,
Yeah,
but have a law that marrying 2 people at the same time is against the law.
absolutely. They give me.
Wow.
And then marry America, he went to Africa, he said, "Lord, do it the traditional way." And can you imagine that his own student? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, Jesus.
What type of country is this, Shaggy McAfee? That white men start crying, speaking colloquial so people can feel sorry for him. They're not speaking Hebrew.
Yeah. The man has lived in the country for some time. You know.
What type of country is this, Liberia, where a missionary wants to be a town chief? The man will have multiple wives. Oh. The man,
Yeah. Man, operating, my man.
the man down there doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most crucial election in our history, Thomas Awaji. The people will decide their own fate.
Yeah.
What more can we do?
Absolutely, Thomas. We agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. What type of country is this that one political party will choose to bankrupt the entire country only because
They want to win
they
elections.
want to win elections? What type of country is this?
And what type of country is this that National Elections Commission will see this happening and not condemn it?
Nothing. Nothing.
What type of country is this? The police doesn't know basic math, to understand that the military didn't add up. What type of country is this?
But man, at least they send a man to the mosquito campus, my man. Yeah. Send a man on campus with the mosquitoes.
I think he thought he think he going into some kind of American jail. When he entered up, once he outside the fence, it looked a little decent, right? People living around.
Yeah.
But when they got to the gate, opened a small gate and said, "Oh man,
Yeah.
through."
It's a American.
He saw the place.
He
They
said,
carry.
what?
No, he said, "Why? Yeah, he's just checking out. He sees some man doing a different thing, and they carry him to go and ring him and book him. Getting a uniform and everything." Then he said, "Oh man, let's go to your cell." When they,
Yeah.
when they see his cell, 50 men in the cell, one person walking in the corner.
And the bed again here, they get about 10 men assigned to that one bed.
They ain't talking about bad. The people lean on cowboy, you said bad. What's wrong with you?
People that take turn to sleep, my man. Ah, Jesus.
What type of country is this that will allow that man to work for free for small money? That's our pattern. Money trumps the law in Liberia. Let's hope not, Shaggy. What type of country is this? Liberia, Liberia. The guys will eat his cheeseburger. The embassy will send for him. That's a good one.
When they send a man food, my man, don't bother so, my man.
Yeah,
Yo, get a man dry rice, man. I think we'll eat him out.
I like that. You eat that man cheeseburger.
Yeah, man, that was it, man. Man, I get that man Sunday night, eat that cheeseburger, man.
I got man dry, man. Dry with chicken soup.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger, yeah.
Yeah, man. They was oh, did you receive the food? They said, oh yeah, so we're talking in now.
That's how I eat cheeseburger. What wrong with you?
Yeah, so, man, don't bring you ball or yeah. Like you yet you ain't gonna care what sister they
Yeah,
say
they fucking eat cheeseburger. What wrong with
you
you?
don't cheeseburger, yeah.
Yeah, you did no cheeseburger.
Yeah.
They sent a man cheeseburger. They were saying
Yeah.
sandwich with fries.
This is man, I get that man 2 carava.
They gave him real pepper cara, not just two. Put it pepper. Hey man, speaking
Hey,
Gologwa.
man, yeah, man, there's a team, man, may be sweating a cow. He said, what is that? He said, this is too spicy. He said, man, I think with a yell.
No,
I just got a phone call that they sent food for me. They said, oh, but man, you want to eat that color you on your own.
but how about the one when Jetty kinda to come feed him? When Jetty come with a dry red to come feed him.
I said, my man, Johnny, nah.
But man, you better join the line. There's no one way catch you, yeah.
Said, oh, so what do we have to do? He said, my man, I said, go join the line. He said, but the embassy just sent my food. I said, my man, I said, join the line. No, John, my man, that you may full of trouble. I said, man, join the line. You want to join the line? You arguing with me.
So Shaggy McCaffrey say, whatever country is this that's finally coming to have missionary helping the people in Central prison. now he gonna be preaching the gospel.
Yeah.
He gonna be preaching
the
Don't know why he's unfortunate. Some beach prisoners reserve for special treatment of foreign, foreign prisoners.
When the phone call comes in from a wife, he said, wait, it's on the phone. He said, my wife is, oh, you tell that woman she here America, we ain't taking no call now.
What type of country is this, Manisumo? Now America has decided to feed the Maria prison through usage. To piggyback, what type of country is this that women have to go to prison for Liberian prison officer to eat cheeseburger?
Man, they said, oh, they brought you mail for. They said, oh, really? But my man, so you ain't giving me something, so man, you are saying, man, I can't call for the man, but we eat that thing right here. Yeah, you eat one go kill somebody in Liberia. Because they're coming for you.
But the man a brave man. The man a brave man, my man. Brave man,
Yeah,
man.
he
Come
took
on now.
a serious risk, man. He took a real risk with his life. That's a real risk he took right there. It's the risk he took is very huge. You can't do that.
Well, I was seeing there's so many crimes that this guy committed. So many crimes. So many crimes. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously. but Moses, so yeah, man, Azor, he going in short dress.
Yeah. But the man like
So
man, huh?
they carry your man in short dress.
Man.
You see the man acting like he know the grounds. He acting like he know the ground.
The man was adapting. You see, the man said, when I'm going out play, I will alert the people. The man said it to his face, yeah. I just leave it with God now. So I'm going down there, I will be there the people. That's what he did. He went shopping. He knew the man had an agenda. You know, he said, I'll wear my sneakers, wear my shopping. Because the thing that do or die, either succeed or the people will catch.
So he went on a mission. He went on a mission. Took the girl out of the house. Trying to kill her in graveyard and all.
Can you imagine telling the guy, say, back home or go to the cemetery to look at the names of people who have died?
Yeah, just look at names.
Yeah.
In the dark too. In the dark. Shaki say, what the country did that makes someone brave to kill someone in public with no fear or remorse? Because when you have a loose judicial system, you know, lack of
accountability
institutions, those kind of people. But man, the other guy should get praises to the pimping rider.
Oh yeah,
you know that on what type of country is this that on this case the pimping riders and Zogos are the hero? Yeah,
they did well.
They did well to save that girl's life.
You know, all in Volcano, I just give it to God. It is God that saved that young woman. He led those people to that venue. Can you imagine that, man?
These foreigners will continue to exploit our sisters and daughters. They are attractive, poor, and desperate for even $20.
Yes.
Yeah, $20.
You heard a mom, you know, seeing that the man is a nice man.
Liberia, what type of country is this where a president comes to the United Nations in the middle of campaign season? Maybe the writing is on the wall.
My man, that last General Assembly meeting.
I think that. But then you see, as I said, these foreign travels are the people per diem. That's the justifiable per diem the men look forward to. You know, even though they're not coming back to give receipts of how they spend, but when they get the money, how they use it, how they use it, that is it. But Moses, let me call it a night, my man. I got things to do. I gotta start putting myself together.
Yeah,
I'd like to thank all viewers here tonight for showing up. It's always good to see you guys joining us here. Hopefully when we make it to Liberia, we'll see if we can seek some underground collaboration with some of the networks in the country. I know everybody talking about money business, but I would like to say this publicly to all of you who are our viewers and listening tonight. We sponsor this platform out of pocket. We've never come here to solicit money. But if we have to expand beyond this platform and to seek a partnership with radio stations in Liberia to carry our network of what we do, maybe at that point we'll be reaching out to the public. But overall, we hope not. And we think that some of those entities will use our content as part of the programming because, you know, but we'll see, Moses, where we go from there.
Yeah. Thank you.
But you also got to
Gentlemen,
understand
I'll talk to you.
some of, yeah, you quickly, you also got to understand that some of the uh uh what they call it radio stations are politicized, and so they will pick and choose what they want to do.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. But there's nothing like a trial. Give a trial and see how it goes.
Yeah. All right then.
Those who are willing to work with us will work with them. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Be safe.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good night,
Bye bye.
everyone. Thank you for being here with us. We said thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be back here, God's willing, on Tuesday next week. We'll do some technical stuff on Friday. Moses got to get his what you call it computer. I see him still trying to put some stuff together. But good night.